All right, shalom. What's up, everybody? Pastor Kofi back at it again, aka the Shadow Band One, Pastor Servant to Christ, where we are always changing lives one mind at a time by being a voice of the voiceless and speaking the unspoken. Many people are talking about preparation, right, and being prepared for the bad times, and that's a great thing to be, a great thing to talk about, a great thing to discuss, to make sure that we are prepared, even for the worst of times. People are usually often only prepared for the best of times. However, they're not prepared for the worst of times. Here's something that I just want to drop with you real quick, though. If you want to be prepared for the worst of times, you're going to need to just tap into habits. A lot of people are waiting for something bad to happen and they're going to flip a switch, right? Now that things are going bad, I've got such and such amount of money saved up, and so I'm going to start being frugal. Now I'm going to start making sure that I balance my budget. Now I'm going to make sure that I start doing, but that's not going to really click in if that has not been your habits, right? And you need to have habits that you're constantly and consistently doing, no matter what the situation is. Whether things are going well, whether things are going poorly, you have to have the same habits, the same mental routine. Have you been waking up and praying no matter what? Or are you only doing so because times have gotten bad, right? Have you been waking up and making sure that you are exercising, or have you only done it because times have gotten bad? Have you made it a point to be investing, or are you only doing that because now you're tired of seeing that a 401k and other things are not necessarily going to turn out the way that you want them to, so now you're going to try to do it? And you can still do it when it's later. However, you should be living a life of preparation. Start doing the things that are required now, right? A lot of people are going to wait until things get hectic. A lot of times we wait until we are not aware of how to get out of a situation, or we haven't prepared, we haven't even studied what a situation is, where it comes from, the historical precedents, the legalities, the natural law, the kingdom law, the marital law, the universal law, etc. So now we finally get in a position where we have to do these things, and then we study. And one of the things that's interesting is that we'll study, we'll implement a few things, however they don't become habits, because the second that now things start changing for the better again, we kind of go right back to our default settings. We're like, man, yeah, this is nice and it works and it helped me to get out of this situation. Then I stop it and then I get back in the same situation. And that's why a lot of us are going through this vicious cycle over and over again. We're not making any progress. We seem to make progress, but we go right back. We make a little more progress, we go right back. We make a little more progress, we go right back. And that's going to come from your habits, right? Your culture affecting your beliefs affecting your emotions affecting your feelings affecting your mood affecting your effort or energy, having direct correlation with the development of your habits. And a lot of us are habitually in a position to where we cannot move forward. And that's the issue. The issue is not so much what is the government going to do about other people who are in the same situation that George Floyd has been in. The issue is that we've been in the same situation with George Floyd. We've marched before, going back to King. We've marched before, going back to Garvey. And Garvey did a little more than march, but hopefully you get what I'm saying, as far as I'm just trying to give you some reference points. But we've marched before as far as voting rights in the late 1800s. We've marched before to be able to get to a position of, all right, 1865, 1866, right, which weren't necessarily great things, but we keep getting it back in the same position. It's because people aren't living consistently. We're not prepared as far as living every day. And then once we get a little bit of something, we say, okay, we don't have to do what got us there in the first place. Be consistent. Don't do what kings do. Do not do what queens do just because the democracy's not working for a hot second. Then all of a sudden you get what you need outside of democracy, then you say, I'm going to go right back. Don't do what kings and queens do as far as finances. I need to get out of this situation I'm in, and then as soon as I'm out of the situation, or at least it's not as bad as it was and I can deal with it, I'm going to stop dealing in the kingdom and I'm going to go right back to capitalism and then try to figure out why I'm going through the same hell over and over and over again. It is not, a lot of our issues are not because are not because it's impossible for us to get out of something, or because it is or because it's just a bad system, or because you're a bad person. A lot of it has to do with you're not being consistent, whether things are great or bad. Remember, you have an emotional bank account even, right? Just like you have a regular bank account. If you're not putting into the bank account at all times, if something comes and takes 500 out all of a sudden, right, and you only had it 550 in there, it's going to be a terrible situation. But if you've been putting in constantly, consistently, and now here comes and take out 500, but you had 2,500, it's a deal. However, it's nowhere close to the deal that it was before. And so we're dealing with the same thing where we're not putting in constant and consistent work, and then something happens and we have no emotional bank account, we have no food bank account, we have no communal bank account, we have no spiritual bank account left. We have only dollars and pennies left because we were not preparing ourselves. So make sure that you're doing the righteous thing every day, all day, grinding, put in the work, put in the effort. Don't stop, right? You know, how does something become a habit? Really, now it's not as simple as this, because you still got to put in the effort, but here's one of the easiest ways to make something a habit and continue to be prepared because of your lifestyle. You ready? One of the easiest ways to make something a habit is just not to stop. Regardless of what it looks like, don't stop. Regardless of you on the street, I've been there, done that. Don't stop. The thing as soon as you stop it, right? As soon as it stops, that's the second that now you're going to have stuff coming out that emotional bank account, and you won't have anything to put back in. Hopefully you got something out of today. I'm looking at the description box below to be able to figure out how you can follow us and help us and different things of that nature. We have some shirts and different things that are coming out as well. We're going to use to try and put some stuff together for the community. And if you'd like to be a part of a whole bunch of different things, just look in the description box below for more information. I hope to hear from you soon. We appreciate the King, Queen, and each and every one of you. As always, this has been Pastor Kofi, aka the Shadow Band One, Pastor Servant of Christ, where we are always changing lives one mind at a time by being a voice of the voiceless and speaking the unspoken. And as I have the great privilege, opportunity, and responsibility of being in front of you all again, please remember as always that you are loved, you are necessary, you are majestic, you're fearfully and wonderfully made, and you, which is all of us working together, will be the reason why people who are in the system no longer have to be of it. Shalom, family. Peace.